Welcome back to Don't Get It Twisted. Today we are here with an unannounced episode. Like, we don't have an episode planned out. So, yeah. So today we come in with the great debate, okay? With the heavy, okay? Normally we are here, we are, laughing, joking, or whatever, on the lighter side of things. But today, we are coming with the episode that started it all. So, I wish I had my phone so I could pull up the video I recorded when we were in Virginia, right after, our debate started or whatever. But, yeah, we're using my phone to record, so I don't have it. But anyway, so we were in Colonial Williamsburg, and the issue came about because my dear brother, baby brother Frankie, did not want to go to Colonial Williamsburg.
No, that was not the issue.
Okay, what the issue was there?
I did not want to go. Is that the name of the place we went to? The little
Colonial Williamsburg,
yeah, I didn't want to
So
go.
you said all that to say you didn't want to go, which is exactly what I said, right? Okay, anyway, so the issue was, so at Colonial Williamsburg, it's like a period piece or whatever, where they do like reenactments from that time in Williamsburg, Virginia. So during that time there were slaves, and they have like reenactments of those slavery stories, those particular slave stories that they know about. They have people dressed up as those characters, and they play out their story. So when my brother found this out, he was like, man, I don't want to see that, so that this has been like a debate between us for a while anyway. And you got something to say? What you want to say?
I don't like it, bro.
I mean,
that's all I have to say. I don't like it. You know why?
Why?
I don't like it. I mean, I know it's important to know your history.
I agree.
But I feel like when it's all that we see is slavery and how we were tormented and all that stuff, yeah, it just gives me a bad taste, because I know our race is more than that. We accomplish more than that. Why are we constantly being shown about slavery more than we are being shown about our accomplishments in this country?
So I agree with you to a certain extent, which is where the debate comes in.
Come on, man.
My thing is, I feel like in showing the accomplishments, you have to show why it's an accomplishment. That's my thing. Like, why is it an accomplishment for some person to do this or do that? It's because they overcame something. And what did they overcome? So you have to tell that part of the story. Like, even looking at movies and stuff like that, I'm not the type of person, I don't like watching the slave movies or whatever. Like, I've seen Roots, but I still have not seen that movie 12 Years a Slave. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's a great movie and it's a great story, but I'm the type of person,
movies like that I only watch one time. That's it.
Like, I feel like I should watch it, and yes, I should watch the movie, and eventually I will, but it's just not something like, I don't know.
Like, we got all these, okay, I get what you're saying. We have all these movies, but they'll never show us no movies of what we did, bro.
Yeah, they do.
Like the real inventors of all the stuff in them.
Okay,
Come
so
on,
like,
come on.
Okay, yeah, you feel like they showing just surface stuff. I agree with that,
Yes.
But with them showing these stories, they are showing the stories of the accomplishments that these people, made, that they what they did.
It's putting everybody in a certain mindset, bro. Everybody don't think like you. we see all this stuff and we get bitter. Well, I get bitter.
And see, I don't. And I don't understand the bitterness. Like, I don't.
bitter. Like, what? Why you got to show this? Okay, I understand that we went through this.
Yes. I
understand that. Okay, now follow up with something else that we accomplished. If you don't let what we went through overshadow the stuff we overcame. I mean, like the stuff that we accomplished, like they really do that. Like in an exhibit, you walk through the exhibit. Slavery. What that stuff is when what we went through in the 60s?
The civil rights movement.
That.
Was it the 60s?
Incarceration. Look, all that, and then you get to one little spot. Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, and a few others. Versus all that other stuff. But it's way more than just the names that I named. And that's what I get mad about. We don't talk about those other names that can help us see that we're more than what we came from. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just constantly saying we can beat up. It put people in a certain mindset like, dog, this stuff is still happening today. But also, if we had the opportunity to see all the accomplishments we made, okay, well, yeah, we got beat up. But look at how we thriving, though.
Okay, I see what you're saying, but I feel like if we want more of what you're speaking of, it is up to us as Black people to put that out there. We can't expect nobody else to do it for us. And I feel like there are people out there doing it. And I feel like some of those movies, like if done the right way, they're showing those things. They're picking out those particular people that you hadn't heard of before. You get what I'm saying? So I see both sides of it. I see what you're saying. But here I am standing on my side of things. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
So the Colonial Williamsburg stuff, he didn't want to see the slaves telling their stories and all that kind of stuff like that. And I mean, it's a touchy subject, like he said, for some people, which I do see that.
You know why it's so frustrating though? My bad for cutting you.
Go ahead.
You want to talk about it, we better talk about it. I feel like that side is celebrated, bro. You know what I'm saying? They should feel ashamed to reenact this stuff.
Why?
The oppressors? No, not us.
Oh, okay. I was finna say.
That's what pisses me off. They reenact this stuff. Make me feel like you want things to go back to the way they used to be. Because you reenacting it. I'm talking about down to the T. Got the horses running through carriages. They showing all the other stuff, how they had it. Come on now. You reenacting this.
I don't know
so that means you want to put yourself in that place.
Not necessarily.
Come on now.
I mean, I'm not saying there are not people out there that would thrive and enjoy stuff like that, because there are. But in order for an accurate retelling of the story,
you see, this is another thing that pisses me off.
Okay, what you got? I guess this is just a vent session for him to get it all out.
The mindset, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
When they go, this is just me. This is just me, and this is what I think someone be thinking. Like, man, I missed this. How people did this. We ran the world like this.
And see, I don't think like that. Like, I know there are people out there like that, but I choose not to focus on that part. And that can be part of the problem, because some people choose to turn a blind eye to things. And I'm not saying I'm turning a blind eye to, you know, what's going on, like the civil unrest that's going on right now, you know. It's disheartening, it's heartbreaking, you know, all the stuff that, you know, we as Black people are going through in this day and time. But I don't even know how to put this. Like, yes, it affects me as a Black person because I'm a Black woman in America, but, and not that I wanted to hit home, but I don't know that it has necessarily, honestly, hit home because it hasn't touched me personally. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, there is a level of awareness because I'm a Black woman in America and I have Black relatives, my brother, my father, you know, cousins, different things like that. And I understand the risk, you know what I'm saying? There is fear there, but, you know, not living in fear, but, you know, being aware of the realness of what could happen, you know. There is that awareness there, but it's just different because I don't know if everybody feel the same way. Some people might take a lot stronger to the situation or whatever, but, and I do.
But yeah, and also too, let's not get it twisted. Not all of them are like that, you know what I'm saying? And like some of them are like, they feel.
Them? Who is the them?
Oh, some white people.
Okay.
All white people don't feel that way.
Okay, so you're saying,
and they sympathize with us. They be like, oh man, that, you know, how they did Black people was wrong. But the people, the white people I'm mad at are the ones. I'm sorry, this might get cut out. You go ahead and cut it. But the people I be mad at the most is the one that finds joy in doing it, like celebrating what they did to our people. Them the people I despise right there. I mean, well, them the people I tend to disagree with. With their mindset.
Yeah, I agree.
Not them as a person, but their mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because some of them don't know no better. They just.
I mean, it's how they were taught. It's how they were raised.
Yeah. So.
It's a taught thing. So what else we want to touch on?
Bro, I feel good.
That you got that out?
Yeah, that you got to hear that.
And I mean, I never necessarily disagree with how you felt. Like you're entitled to feel how you feel, but I just saw it from a different viewpoint.
You know why? Another reason I was mad, because I didn't understand why you wouldn't. You know, so, for real.
So yeah, that's the difference. That's the difference.
Thought, like when we got there and we got to walking, I'm like, bro, why did you want to come here?
Because in mindset, because that's the difference between me and you. We are very different in our mindsets. Whereas you take that and get upset about it, I take it and look at it from a perspective of an overcomer, we overcame mentality. That's how I look at it. I look at that as like, man, my ancestors went through this, and yet here we are still thriving, standing on their backs, you know what I'm saying, of what they went through, what they overcame. And I can look at their stories and appreciate the retelling of their stories because of it.
And I understand that too. And I think the same way. But mostly I get frustrated, not for myself, but the future of our race, like the kids that's coming up. Like why they gotta be like go through this same thing, and then most of them, like these kids nowadays, they don't care about none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? They just think like, oh well, that happened and that happened. And they keep on moving. That's why I want them to see the experience of Black people that overcame and thrived in it. You know what I'm saying?
So what you're saying is you just want to see more. I feel some type of way about it. You just want to see more of the celebration portion of it. I feel like it has to be equal parts shown.
Well, it's not. And that's what I'm mad about. It's not. You see what I'm saying? You think it should be equal, and I agree with that, but it's not equal. Just think about it.
In what way do you feel like it's not equal?
I just broke it down to you earlier.
No, break it down again. Like, because I see some of the stuff like what you're saying you don't see.
Bro.
They take them back. I don't know.
We have whole exhibits. We like that spot we went to in Montgomery, where we walked through that lynching museum.
Mm-hmm.
Pissed me off. I mean, it wasn't the fact that I think the people that made the museum to pay homage, because a lot of names went unknown.
Yeah.
During those lynchings, you know what I'm saying? But they had a nice display for it. But man, like, why is this? I don't want nobody to feel like I felt.
That's.
But if you gonna have that same, if you gonna have that exhibit, give me some positivity afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Don't just give me all this negative.
Okay, and look, in taking that though, I feel like, so if you had an exhibit set up and you had the whole, exhibit that they had with the lynching and all of that,
mm-hmm.
and then the next exhibit you walk into was the celebration of an accomplishment of a Black person.
It would be about some people that their family was lynched and they somehow figured out a way to keep on moving.
Okay.
And to do great things.
I get what you're saying about, but to me, okay, this is how, and I guess, I don't know. I feel like we need to come up with a solution to, the way exhibits are done so that it'll be more, I don't know how to explain it, tailored to the individual person who's viewing it. Because me personally, if I go to see that exhibit and I see the whole lynching thing and then I go immediately to something else that's celebrating, I don't want to do that. I need to be able to not just dwell in what happened, but to be able to reflect on what happened and the gravity of that situation. You know what I'm saying? To deal with that emotionally before I can move on to the celebration.
I was just sitting here thinking, like when we went back up, I think we went to Montgomery to that museum, to like the historically Black museum.
Mm-hmm.
Man, me and this other guy, we walked in, but we never stopped. We just kept moving.
Just walk through.
Just walked on through. And as I seen those, man, I'm not gonna go into it, man. Like, it made me feel so uncomfortable. It made me feel like I was a part of Get Out, bro. When they was at the auction sale, you know what I'm saying? When they were just, I'm talking about they just sitting there.
Okay. On that note, bringing that up, when we were in DC and we went to the National Museum of African American History.
Nah, they had it right.
Okay, but yes, it was right. But though, I guess that's me as a Black person. I do tend to look at white people when they are looking at our stuff.
Come on, bro. Come on, man.
And not with any disrespect or anything like that, because one of the men, it was a white male that came through and he was like, "Oh man, this is so interesting," or something he said.
You see?
No, like me and you both heard him or whatever. I gotta come back or I gotta bring somebody back with me or whatever. But it wasn't in
I told you, I said this earlier. It might just be me. But man, when they make statements like that.
But no, I don't see that he didn't look like he was celebrating.
I get mad at the ulterior motive that I think that's going on inside their head, bro.
But you can't say that because you don't know what a person is thinking. So that's the difference between me and you two. That's that's looking at both sides of it. You choose to look at it from that angle, and I choose to look at it from another.
You know what? I will change my thought process, because the same way I think they look at me or our people when they go to, our museum, I ain't gonna lie, I wonder how they feel when we walking through their museums and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, do they really have their museums though?
Yeah, most of the history over here is.
Okay, I would say you're right, because that's what's displayed at museums or whatever. But we're Americans too.
Come on, are we?
This country was built on our backs.
But we don't get notified for it. And that's another reason I'll be angry. Now, I'm just messing with
I do believe in giving credit where credit is due. But did you say notified? You mean the notoriety that we?
Now, I'm not good with words. We're not finna sit here and talk about that.
Okay, but I don't know. That museum was I view that as like the way you were talking about how a museum should be. Like I want to go back.
That one was nice, because they had all the I'm talking about nice. From
and I will
say
every
culture, like everything dealing with Black culture, they had it in there.
It was more of a celebration.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. That made me feel so good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like
real,
the way the museum is, like everybody should visit. It is a lovely museum. We didn't get to view it as in depth as I wanted to, because we went at like 3, because that's the only time slot we could get, and they closed at 5. So, okay, but this is the thing. Anyway, for him, he didn't care, because he wasn't about all that part of the They did have, like, when you first go to, like, I can't remember which floor, but when we started, it's like we were on like the celebration side of things, of like the music, hair, clothing, all of that type of stuff. But they did have as you went to the lower floors, was it? Yeah, that's when it started to, like, even in the celebration portion, they had like a portion talking about the incarcerated Black people and stuff like that. But it was just, when I say it was a small portion, it was like a little small thing.
Now, that's how you do things.
And but as you went further down, then you got into, like, they had a whole bus there, and they had the like the diner bars or whatever, where they used to do sit-ins, and then the bus boycotts and all that kind of stuff like that. They had all that, and we didn't get a chance to like thoroughly view all that, but he went about that anyway. So, like,
but I still think that was cool though.
Like, but, and then they had the slavery portion of it, where you could go see like the portion of inside of a ship, and the shackles and all of the different stuff like
and
that.
That part.
But you know what? I will say, I feel like they did it the way I'm thinking in my mind. Like, with the slavery portion of it, all of that was like the whole slavery time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were able to what's the word I used earlier? Not dwell, but reflect through that whole portion. You know what I'm saying? So you weren't going from like slavery to celebration or whatever. Yeah. It was like it gave you time to, it was a period of reflection.
It gave you time to reflect
and appreciate the struggle that our ancestors went through.
And then after that, it showed you the results that are still happening to this day because of our ancestors' sacrifice.
Yeah. So
don't just
like that museum, I would say, is a way to model.
That's how I feel like it should be done at every Black museum.
So yeah, that I enjoyed that.
You know what I'm saying? That was nice right there.
I want to go back.
That's probably the only museum I wouldn't mind going back to.
Yeah. So I'm not a big museum person anyway.
I'm not a museum person either, but
I do want to go back.
Like, I want to go to one of them.
I want to go back and have like a whole day
I want to go to one of the museums that show all the ancient artifacts they got and stuff like that. You know, like the Nights at the Museum.
Like the Night at the Museum movie. You talking about the Museum of Natural History?
Something like that, yeah.
We were gonna do that, but we ran out of time, so we gotta go back.
Man.
We gotta go back, y'all, to visit DC, where the nice museums are.
Yeah.
But man. But I mean, what are y'all thoughts? You know, how do y'all feel about how movies are portrayed, how museums are portrayed or set up or displayed? Do you feel some type of way when you see this type of stuff? Like, how would you feel about going to Colonial Williamsburg and seeing like the reenactments of slaves, and then the other people that are there in the houses and different things like that, and the retelling of the slavery stories and stuff? How would you feel about it? So do you take that, I'm upset, I don't want to see this, or are you more of the type to just,
And please, don't misconstrue this video. It's just our thoughts about a museum and reenactments and stuff like that.
This is nothing against Colonial Williamsburg at all.
Or white people. Like, because at the end of the day, we all bleed the same.
Yes.
Like, no matter, I don't care what shade you is. When somebody cuts you, your blood is red.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
When you die, everybody turns to dust.
Yeah.
From which we came.
So.
You know what I'm saying? So I love everybody.
It's sad that it is a reality we have to address, people judging other people based on the color of their skin.
Mm-hmm.
But that is our reality. It shouldn't be that way, but it is that way.
Well,
and this is just like part of what we have to deal with. How society has been structured.
Yeah. I must say, this is a good episode, and this is what we want to bring to our audience that watches.
So this has been the great debate, heavy.
Listen here. You cut me off one more time.
As much as you to cut me off this video. I couldn't once you started talking, I couldn't get a word in edgewise. Like,
well, hey,
my goodness.
I let you talk enough.
I brought it out of you, huh?
Yes, you did. But yeah, like I say, people love everybody, man. But you don't have to, you don't have to agree.
Yeah,
with everyone.
Nobody. We're never gonna agree on everything.
Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and I feel like when two different opinions are able to be discussed in a peaceful environment.
Yeah, it's called a debate, not an argument.
You know what I'm saying? That's where you find growth.
Yeah.
Because after hearing her side and she heard my side, we both agreed in certain, instances of this debate. And I have a change of mind too on certain things that she spoke about.
The little bit that you did let me speak.
Hey, that's neither here nor there.
So yeah, tell us in the comments some of your thoughts, some of your feelings on the situation. Have you been to the museum in DC or any Black American, African American museum, and
be truthful.
And what you thought about the museum, how you felt about it. Let us know if we need to visit it. So yeah. That's we'll be back to you with some lighthearted stuff, but every now and then we gonna drop the heavy on you, the real, some life discussions on you.
Yeah, because I'm already heavy enough, as you can see.
Drop the heavy on you. Dude, something wrong with you. So, but and don't be afraid, our Caucasian friends, to leave comments.
Oh, most definitely. I have a lot of those.
Yeah.
I consider family. You know what I'm saying?
We have family members that are Caucasian.
Hey, you know who you are, my friends, from far and wide.
And I mean, we're a melting pot of DNA wise as well.
Can't you tell?
Night and day. So yeah, it's funny how genetics work out and DNA and all that kind of stuff like that. Yeah, leave us comments. Let us know. We're very interested in hearing your opinions and thoughts from all sides, from all viewpoints. This is a judgment-free zone. Like,
yes,
me and him, we had a discussion. It might be a heated discussion, but I mean, we just discussing. We're not arguing.
She's upset,
and we're not,
she's upset,
and we're not judging or whatever. And I thought, but that was very enlightening to me, though, the fact that you were like upset about the fact that I wasn't upset. I did not know that. Like, you didn't understand why I wasn't upset about it. And I didn't understand what the big deal was. Like, I mean,
that's the issue I had. I'm like, bro,
I get that it's a big deal. It's an emotional thing, but I just, I didn't see why you didn't want to go. All right, so we closing this video out. Check out our podcast version that's available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I don't even have my notes in front of me this time when I'm doing this.
Hey, keep it up.
Huh?
You don't look at the camera anyway.
You're right, but this ain't the podcast closed out, so don't play me.
Let's get it.
Yeah, check out our podcast version available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you haven't subscribed, support us by clicking that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you know when we post videos. I know they haven't been consistent as of late, but we're trying to get back to it with everything else we have going on in life. But just trust we gonna get some videos out to y'all. So click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and thank you for watching. Don't get it twisted.
This is gonna be epic. I already know it though.
You think so?
Well, I don't know what's going to happen.
You don't even know what the episode is about.
That's what I'm saying. Let's go.
All right. Well, peeper. They
like, I'm pretty sure, like, anybody in this world will still eat a hamburger if it has cheese on it.
Not if they don't want
no
cheeseburger.
matter if it's broiled or baked. Lactose, non-lactose. Everybody loves a good cheeseburger.
This gonna get cut out.
Don't get it twisted.
Even if it's impossible.
Come on now. Everybody. Impossible.
Oh goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Where my did you grab it?
What's that?
My little piece of paper I was rolling.
Well, right there.
Oh, it's hiding. Yeah, just tell us what you feeling, what you thinking.
Don't you ask for nothing else from me or mine. Now you tell me what movie that was off of.
I have no idea.
I can't see nothing. I can't see nothing in his head.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
My wife worked all day making these masks. You ungrateful.
I have no idea.
It don't even matter because I know.
Okay.
The treaty says.
What? You are all over the place, dude.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to bring it all in.
So, anyway. All right. That's the end of this video.
All right. That's the end of this video.
So, that's how you feeling?
Hey, I'm trying to help you out.
All right. So, and thank you for listening to our podcast. Don't get it twisted. But we got that part down though. Why we can't get that right?
Yeah.
Brown, brown, brown.
Yeah.
We out.
We out.